A very blessed day, everyone. Greetings to you in the name of the Father, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He, Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord, Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. This is Neophyte DAG bringing you another message from the series Heavenly Signs Before the Great Sign and the Son of Man, the Messiah, is revealed. In this message, we're going to concentrate on the sun signs before the great sign and the Messiah is revealed. The reason why it's the sun is a very important indicator for what we're going through right now. There are lots of signs. Pay very close attention to the sun sign. It is the one who's going to tell you when and what to do and at what time it's going to occur. In this series, we started out by telling you the 5 different signs to watch out for that are very important. The first one was the solar eclipse, which is a combination of the sun and the moon. It started out in 2017. It's on a 7-year window time span. The second one was the coronal mass ejection, CMEs as we call it, solar flares as we call it, that started out in 2017. It's going to ramp up from that year all the way through a solar maximum in 2024, 2025. The third one is Blue Kachina. It's a planet that's orbiting in our zone in our solar galaxy. You just can't see it because it's in another dimension of time. But that planet is gradually coming into our dimension of time, which is the third dimension. That started as well in 2017. It's scheduled to become more and more visible from that year forward. You're going to see more of it in 2022, running up to 2024. Fourthly are earthquakes. Fifth, volcanoes. And item 4 and item 5 are related to item number 2, coronal mass ejection, which are coming from the sun along with solar flares. And as always, we take this series from Luke 21, verse 25, and Luke 21, verse 28. And there shall be signs in the sun. You see the first one? Signs in the sun. The first one, that means it's more important than the other signs. Watch out for the sun. Also watch for the moon. Also watch for the movement in the stars, which are all the other planets that are out there and other star systems. But watch out for the sun, because the sun is going to cause distress upon this planet, and it's going to distress all the nations on this planet. When it says nation, it means the major nations who are trying to hold you into their subjection. They're not going to tell you what the sun is doing. That's going to disrupt their rule over this planet. But that's what I'm here to unveil to you. They're going to be perplexed, pretend to be perplexed, but they know what's going on. And they're passing down that perplexion to you. They're passing down that perplexity to you because they're pretending they don't know when they do know. But I'm here again to tell you what's happening with your sun. That sun as well is going to cause confusion in your ocean. The ocean is going to become intensified. Underwater earthquakes, diverse volcanoes. And it's going to make the waves roar with these diverse underwater volcanoes and earthquakes. That's what Luke 21 is telling you, and I'm going to help narrow it down for you. Tied in with Luke 21 verse 25, it's Luke 21 verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, when they begin to happen, what shall you do? Shall you stay confused? No, look up. What are you looking up for? You're looking up to the sun. You're looking up to the heavens. You're looking up for the signs above your head, because that's where the great sign is going to occur. And now you need to lift your head up. When you see the first sign, which is the sun occurring, lift your head up, lift your spiritual consciousness up, because that's the indicator something major is going to happen, which separates the wheat from the tares, the wise virgin from the foolish virgin, who are to evolve and who are to be destroyed. For your redemption, your evolution, your evolving, your moving into a higher state of consciousness draws near when you see these signs about to occur. That's why I'm coming to you right now and telling you, look up, observe the sun. There are many people out there giving you your daily solar report. Pay attention to it. After this message, pay extra close attention to your sun and the coronal mass ejections and solar flares coming from your sun. What is causing your sun to get unstable at this time? What is causing the sun to give off all these effects before your great sign? There has to be a cause for every effect. We're not going to do it like how our scientists do it, telling you the symptoms of it, like our doctors do it, telling you the symptoms of it and not the root cause. Without knowing the cause, you cannot resolve the symptoms. You're only going to be concentrating on the symptoms and not the cure or what you need to do once you understand the cause. You have to get to the cause of things. That's where the law of cause and effect comes in. That's what your universal law of cause and effect compels you to do, to find the cause so you know the effects. You can't be running around trying to track down the effects when you don't know the cause. What is the cause? Revelation 22 verse 13. I am Alpha, that is the beginning, and Omega, that is the end, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So you have to know the cause, the Alpha, to figure out the Omega. You have to know the beginning to figure out the end. You have to know the first to figure out the last. Without the cause and effect, you are running around aimlessly without knowing what's coming to you. Alpha, that's the genesis, the formation of everything. That means there's a starting point to the ending point that you're going through now. Starting point. We're on a 7,000-year cycle. That's why you're going through the first seal, second seal, third seal, fourth seal, fifth seal, sixth seal, seventh seal. And what that cycle is, that's a cycle of time which you have to prove yourself ready to move forward in a higher state of consciousness. So you're on this earth, trapped in an incarnating system until you realize that I need to uplift myself. I need to evolve myself out of darkness into light so I can make myself ready for the Omega, which is the reformation of yourself from a physical being to a physical being combined with a spiritual being. You're gone back to Genesis. Now you're trying to find your way back to Genesis 1 verse 27, which is you, the spiritual creation. You're moving from Genesis 2, which is the Adam, the dust man creation, and combining the dust man with the man from Genesis 1 verse 27, with the woman from Genesis 1 verse 27, combining them together, the reformation of Adam Cadman. That's your cause and effect. Your cause. You are a physical being on this planet, but you were formed as a spiritual being first. That was taken away from you, and you have to find your way back to that spiritual being, and you have to join them together as one, a perfect union, to show that you're ready to go to the next step where the entire galaxy will be open to you. Move yourself out of that linear one sun, and there's no other planet in the world that has human life. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. My Father has many mansions. If it were not true, I would not tell you so. And I'm going to go there to prepare a way for you. Where did he go? Did he go to a place by himself? No, he's telling you there are other things out there. He's not going to have out there by himself and prepare something for you when there's nothing out there. No. They're mansion on top of mansion, planets on top of planets, galaxy on top of galaxy, waiting for you to go through your omega. So let's go back to the 7,000 years. At the end of the 6,000 year, when you're moving into the 7,000 year, which started in the year 2000, you go into the beginning of the 7,000 year, which is called the last millennium. When you now take your rest, you take your Sabbath from all your struggles, from the first seal to the sixth seal. 6 days you shall work, and the seventh day you shall rest. That's where your Sabbath comes in now on the spiritual level. This is time for you to rest from all your struggles, all your affliction, all your wickedness, all the wickedness that was done to you, all the controllers who have kept you in a third dimensional way of thinking, kept you in bondage, locked your earth in a shield that you couldn't get out of. That has to end on the Sabbath day, which is the beginning of the 7,000 years, because you have to reign with Christ. Isn't that what it says? You're going to reign with Christ for 1,000 years. You're going to have that Christ consciousness for 1,000 years. And it started in the year 2000. And it has to clean house now to make your Sabbath ready. So your Sabbath started in the year 2000. That's when you hit midnight in that 1,000 year. Where am I getting 1,000 years from? Don't you know, O children of Israel, O children of Jacob, children of Judah, in heaven, a day is 1,000 years on earth. So in heaven, it's your Sabbath day, but the beginning of it, the midnight stroke of it, when you're moving now into the dawn, you have to clean house. Alpha, Omega. Alpha started 6,022 years ago. Omega started 22 years ago. And you're moving into your new cycle. At the start of the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for half an hour. Half an hour, when you equate it to the 1,000 years, which is a day on earth as it is in heaven, 30 minutes, half an hour is 20 years, moving to 21 years, which brings you to 2020, moving into 2021. When did your COVID and all your disease struck? When did your earthquake in diverse places start? When did your volcanoes start to erupt more rapidly? When did your coronal mass ejection went into high gear? All precipitated from 2020. So what's going to happen? In incarnation, law of cause and effect starts. It provides the soul with an opportunity for physical, mental, and spiritual growth. You have 6,000 years to grow it. Beginning of the 7,000 years, that's when you're going to bring it forward more in your life because of the sun. In that cycle, it's called an incarnation, a spiritual incarnation. The soul enters into a cycle of a lower dimension, which is our cycle, a third dimension. That's the start time. 6,022 years ago. And that started the cause and effect. And the karma that it experienced, that soul throughout the 6,000 years, is temporary, it's subordinated, it's less power than the eternal life, which you're going to graduate and move into if you make yourself ready during that stage of your soul's law of cause and effect. So in other words, at the end of that cycle, the 7,000, but your critical point, because you have to have your Sabbath, your day of rest, which started in the year 2000. At that cycle program, if the individual soul is not deemed worthy for the next function, the next spiritual function in their life, they cannot be promoted into the new galactic seed that's waiting for them. They cannot. They cannot move into the light, which is the entire galaxy, which is your Adam Cadman, your spiritual body joining with your physical body. Cannot. The soul is placed in one or several step back. You can't advance. You can't be graduated if you didn't make yourself ready and moving yourself into that light. That's what the Most High is trying to get you to accomplish. That's why he's pulling all these things away from you. All the distractions that were set up for you to move you into knowing that something is different. Something is off. I need to change something. I need to find out more. Give me more on what I need to do, oh Father. That's what he's trying to get you to bring into your thoughts. Him. And remove your thoughts from all the other things that have been plaguing your life with temporary happiness. He now wants to move you into your eternal life. Once he seals you mean seal your spiritual body with your physical body. It cannot be changed. It cannot be taken from you. Before he seals you, he wants to make sure you're ready. And if you're not ready for that seal, you have to go back to school. That's what's happening to you right now. You're going to be given a step back to go repeat the school, and depending on how badly you did, like the fallen angels, don't think I don't know about what you're going through. You will be put back several steps instead of one step. That's what's happening to the fallen angels right now. They were in the kingdom of the Most High, so they were up to 5th and 6th and so on dimension, and they got swept back to 4th. Go repeat school because you want to follow your own plan, which is not a plan of love, which is not a plan of the Most High, to have eternal love and to eternally serve the Creator, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, Elohim. No, you did not want to do that. You did not want to harmonize yourself with the glorious light of the Father, nor with the love of the Father. You wanted to promote hate, war, killing, starving your fellow man and woman and telling them it's okay, telling them, hey, I shall be rich and it's best to be rich and let the poor provide for the poor. Let them starve. No, you live in all these lavish lives and they're living in squatters. No, that's not what the Most High wanted. That's what you wanted to serve. And you've passed that on to the people and let them think it is okay to do that. No, it's not. All it's letting you do, where you must learn through your negative karma. That's what it's having you set up. Negative karma. How to harmonize with the living light of the Father. How to bring that spirit of love in you. That Holy Spirit. That's your higher self. That's your 5 divine bodies, your 5 spiritual bodies that are waiting for you. Your 8th chakra, your 9th chakra, your 10th chakra, your 11th chakra, your 12th chakra. They're waiting to join with your 1 through 7 chakra. They're waiting to join with your crown chakra so you can get that light. Your 5 Overself. Mirrored with you, joined with you, synchronized with you at all times. And you can exemplify love. Love your fellow man as you love yourself. Do unto your fellow man as you would want them to do unto you. That's your purpose here on this planet. So let's move into the sun. Let's move into the sun and figure out what no one wants you to know about your son. Keys of Enoch. 3:1-2, verse 111. The self-realized man understands why our sun is a buffer, is a tuning kit, a turn down, turn up kit to filter in what energy you are going to get, what information you are going to get. Your sun is a buffer that shuts out direct input and output message emanating from the divine. That's what your sun is. Why is it doing that? Your planet was given light from the eternal light of the Father, the central sun, and the spiritual sun. But the fallen ones have influenced man and woman, all beings on this planet, to take on negative in their life. So the sun had to be put in place so you don't get spiritualized into negative by giving you all that energy to help you improve your connection with negative, low vibrational things. No, that's not what the Most High want. There was a light, but no sun, no rain. The spiritual light coming through the astral window permeated, penetrated, spread all over all the cosmos. That was your spiritual light coming through. All planets, all beings was feeding from that spiritual light. The planets did not revolve around their axis, nor around a sun. No sun was there. You were getting your direct emanation from the source, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He. Everything drew its energy from the source. Everything drew its energy from the source. The divine power of the source. That's where your energy was coming from. When the fall of man came, there was a change. When the fall of man came, I repeat, there was a change. What was that change? What was that change? What was that change? The source of the Most High divine power was cut off from you, so you wouldn't be absorbed in all your darkness, in divine power to help you with that, with divine power to help fasten you in your divine darkness. No, the power was cut off. No, the spiritual sun was cut off, so you can work and find your way back to show that you're spiritually ready to get back that divine sun. And that's what's happening right now. The physical sun is dissolving. The physical sun is dissolving. So your divine spiritual sun can start to shine on you again. That's what's happening. Negation that you have taken on only passed into the material realm, the realm of the flesh, the realm where you're living on, the third dimension, where you need a fleshly body in order to manifest your spiritual self. No, none of that didn't go up to the fifth dimension. None of that didn't go up to the upper fourth dimension. None to the fifth, neither the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, none. Everything was cut off on your third dimension. That's why I can come and tell you, your sun is there only to buffer out that spiritual light. You can't get that light until your negation in the material, fleshly realm has been dissolved. And the spiritual sun is seeping through your regular sun now to help hasten that process, because there's a time frame on everything. The divine source works with time, and now is the time when the seventh seal got open. That is the time where Adam, the Adamic race, Adam has to now transform himself into Adam Cadman. That's what's happening. That explains your sun, and now you're moving back to your spiritual sun. Praise be to the Most High, Allah, the divine source, Elohim, God in our modern day name. Praise be to the Lord, Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah, who the Most High has put in charge of making sure all of this comes back to us. All of this is manifested in the fleshly realm where the spiritual light is coming back. It's not no man or Lucifer or any technology that they're telling you is doing all kind of thing. That is null and void. Once the sun dissolves, all of what they have created goes into smoke. Fling it in the fire, it shall burn up. It cannot make its way back into a spiritual kingdom of light. So a sun was put there to buffer out, in and out, the spiritual light that's coming in. Make sense? I'll give you some more. The sun buffers output message, so you cannot communicate quite the way you want to communicate with your higher self. You can't communicate quite the way you want to communicate with the spiritual beings which are beyond the sun point of your solar system. It buffers out messages of the higher memory function, which connects you to all of those 5 overselves that you have that are residing in 5th dimension, 6th dimension, 7th dimension, 8th dimension, 9th dimension. That's where your overselves are hovering. You are hovering between the 3rd and the 4th. The 4th when you go to bed and go to sleep. You're in the 4th dimension. But your overselves are in 5th through 9th. So your sun buffers that out so you can connect with them and you can be seeing what they're doing in all those dimensions above yours, and they can completely attach themselves to you and give you all the information you need, which they're getting directly from the source, the Father, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He, Elohim. That's what your sun is doing. And it will also open up your memory to all your past life during that 6,000 years that you're in the cycle, and during all the other lives that you spent on other planets before you came to Earth to be a part of that incarnation cycle. That's what your sun is doing. It's buffering it out. It's filtering it out. It's a turn down knob. It's turning down your true powers. Can't get your true powers until you show you're ready for it. Keys of Enoch 3:12, verse 112. Your body must first be physically ready, physically hardened, and spiritually connected before it can understand what it should do at this time. You need the Holy Spirit to be guiding you before your overself can be given back to you. Your overself is your Adam Cadman that's waiting for you. So you can't get none of that until you're physically made your temple ready by cutting out meat, starch, dairy, processed sugar that's holding your physical body from becoming tempered, and from spiritually connecting you before the plan, before the law, before the vision of the Most High, which will give you all your previous life and all the simultaneous life your overself is experiencing at your time. From now, from the time of creation until the time now. That's the knowledge that's being locked up in the 5th with your overself that you now need to reconnect with. That's the Adam Cadman. Therefore, the sun is a solar reactor which is used to buffer, to slow down, to stop the input message from coming into you and your output message from reaching out to your higher selves. That your mind would require to know where you have been, where you are in, and the space-time cell that you're currently in. So that's what the sun is doing. Now, those who know what the sun is doing, that's why they can tell you there's no one else out there, because your output message is locked down. Your input message is locked down, because what the fallen ones have done, they have gone to the sun, injected themselves into that process, hijack the connection that's coming to you, and make sure nothing at all reaches you. They tapped into that buffer, and send now their own message to you. That's why sometimes the message is popping up in your head. You're like, where the hell did that come from? Where did that come from? I didn't think of that. That's what they're doing. They're filtering their own input to you and hijacking your output when you pray and all the other things you do. They're hijacking that to know what's in your mind and send you back input based on what they want you to get, based on how you can stay firmly fixed to their plan and to their intentions. Emerald Tablet of Thoth, Tablet 15, Secrets of Secrets, because it is a secret that has been revealed to us. On earth, man is in bondage. On earth, you are in bondage. On earth, you are in bondage. Bound by space and time to the earth dimension, to the third, fourth dimension. That's why I can tell you this. Encircling each planet is a wave of vibration, an electromagnetic ring which binds you into your plane, into the third dimension of your manifestation. You can only manifest on the third. You can't go nowhere to manifest anything. That's why when you hear them saying, I'm going to moon and I'm going to go to Mars, lies on top of lies on top of lies. They're bounded on this earth. Man can't leave this earth plane at all. He can try, but he can't leave it with war in his mind, with evil in his mind, with negative in his mind. No way he can leave anywhere. Those who have ears to hear know that that's true. He's locked in just the same as us. Lucifer is locked in just the same as us. He's locked into lower fourth. Unless he's invited to fifth by the Father, he cannot come up, nor his fallen angels. They have been pushed down, cast out to lower fourth. You just can't see them because most of your time you spend is on third. When you sleep, when you go to bed, when you dream, when you meditate, you might get a glimpse of them when they appear to you. Yet, within you is the key of releasement. Within you, you have the key to release yourself. Inside you is the key to freedom. If your eye be single, your whole body will be filled with the key of freedom. Isn't that what it says? Didn't I tell you, ye are gods, children of the Most High? And if he say you are God, no one can refute that. The scripture cannot be changed. No matter how much they tell you, you are alone and there's no other creation. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. The key is within you. Get your vessel ready so your mind, your physical and your spirit can be at one and you can release yourself from that circle that's encircling your planet, binding you in your plane of unfoldment. You can become unbounded. Some of you have experienced it when you do your astral projection, but you're still in lower fourth. You haven't gone anywhere. There are ways to break past lower fourth, but that's not the purpose of this message. What is the effect of the sun? What is the effect of the sun signs? What is the effect of the sun before the great sign? What is it? Keys of Enoch, 1:18, verse 16. O children of Israel, children of Jacob, children of Judah will become the new plan of victory. They can't stop what's coming to you. No one can. Can you turn back an arrow shot by a strong archer, the Most High? No, you cannot. You cannot stop what's coming. Intelligence is coming to your planet, and it will freely move upon this planet and other planets. No one can stop that. No one will be able to stop it. And you shall get to a point where other life form from all those planets, they tell you, no one is on other planets. No, they're going to come here. You're beginning to see their ships in the sky. Look up and you shall see what's going on. They shall make themselves seen before they come down and land. Before this new regenesis, before the Omega is reached, before it occurs on this planet, the earth will go through growth. Growth means excessive, large amount, uncountable amount of geomagnetic catastrophic changes as a result of your son. As a result of your son. That's why I'm telling you about your son. They're removing the buffer now. That's what's happening. They're making way to remove the buffer, the sun. That's what the higher intelligence is doing. Therefore, you're going to have geomagnetic, gross one, excessive amount of geomagnetic and catastrophic changes to your planet. North Pole and South Pole are going to be greatly affected by what's going on, and they shall release their torque. That's later on, after the great sign. They shall spin their shell after the great sign. What does that mean? Pole shift. Pole reversal shift. North Pole moves to the South Pole. South Pole shift to the North Pole. That's not the purpose of this message. But if you want to get an idea as to what I'm talking about, watch a movie 2012 and it will give you their version of what's going to happen without them telling you it's going to happen. These events will be significant key to who move forward in the future. These events will demonstrate how your DNA and your RNA, which is your biological system, which is mirrored exactly like the Creator, the Most High, Yod-He-Vahu-He. Embedded within your DNA is the code of the Father, Y-H-W, Yod-He-Vahu-He. 64 different variations of it encoded in your DNA. We go to Keys of Enoch 202 verse 21. The Deca-Delta codes give direction to the DNA RNA. What is the Deca-Delta? It's 10 version of the code, which takes you from the channel of Earth all the way up to the 9th dimension. It's a 12 spiritual channel which moves information from 9th dimension to the 3rd dimension, and from 3rd dimension to the 9th dimension. You need that code, and that code is embedded in your DNA RNA. So when that code is going to be unlocked, it will give direction to your DNA RNA in the beginning. That's the way you were coded. Once the DNA RNA is started, there is a spontaneous replication through angles and frequency until you are reprogrammed, into a light being. Takes place. It has to take place. Nothing can stop it, at which time new code functions are given to you. New code functions are given to you from the 10 channel that the information, output, input is passing through from the heavenly realm where your Father is at to you in the 3rd dimension. Nothing can stop it once that begins. Nothing can stop it once it begins. Your DNA, RNA has the code to unlock you so you can have that spontaneous replication of your cells. Your body start to reform you into a new being, and that new being will start to move vibrations based on different angles, different curves, different frequencies, and you will correspond with the codes that's being unlocked in you, the codes that are being sent to you, and that shall reprogram you in a new being, a new Deca-Delta being, where you can travel that path from 3rd dimension to the 9th dimension yourself. You don't need anyone to make it for you. You don't need anyone to travel it for you. You can travel it yourself. That's what you were created for by the Father, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod-He-Vahu-He. Now, where am I getting the 10 from? The 10 channels that you need to travel. The 10 channels that you need to use. Sefer Yetzirah. 10 is the number. 10 is the number. That's the decad. 10 is the number. Over them is the covenant of the people, the spiritual people that made that covenant with the Most High, Allah, Yod-Heh-Vahu-Heh. Elohim and the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, who are those covenant people. We'll get to that in a minute. The decad is the perfect number in the Pythagorean system. 10 is perfect, not 9, not 8, not 11. 10 is the number. 10 numbers represent the 10 Sephiroth, the 10 channels that you have to travel to move up to heaven and to move back to the material plane. 10 are the numbers, the ineffable. You cannot mention that 10. You don't know of that 10 until you feel the spirit of the 10. 10 it is, not 9. 10 it is, not 11. Learn this wisdom, oh children of Israel, children of Jacob, children of Judah, my dark-skinned melanated people, the Adamic race who are about to be transformed to Adam Kadmon. Learn this and understand, because you have to pass through that 10 spiritual channel to get back to the Creator who is seated on his throne waiting for you after he collapses that sun, the material sun that he has put to make sure that you graduate with honors in getting your light so you can come back to him. Let's read some more on the 64 sacred letters of the DNA RNA code through the proper light. Through the proper light to you, your body, your DNA, RNA, the 64 coding of it will be awakened and put you in the image and the similitude, the similarity, the same as you talked about in Genesis 1 verse 27. I made man and woman in my own image. I made man and woman in my own image. Now you're moving back to that image. Genesis 1 verse 27. Not Genesis 2, that's what you are right now. But you're moving back to Genesis 1. You're Adam Kadmon. That's what you're getting back. And you shall be balanced within the 64 sacred letter of your DNA, which is a combination of the tetragrammaton YHWH, Yod-Heh-Vahu-Heh. That's your DNA coding. 64 variations of it. We won't get into that on this message. We'll continue. Who is Adam Kadmon? Who is that person we've been talking about? We've heard lots of rumors, innuendos, and myth about Adam. Let's clear that up today. Adam Kadmon, he's the archetypal man. He's the first man that was joined with the spirit. They were one. He's the heavenly man. He's the man who is emanating the willpower, and the creative power directly from the source, the Most High. And the Lord is Adam Kadmon. So let's move on. Adam Kadmon, he's the light manifestation of the paradise son. That means he's the direct son of the Most High. He never lost his connection. He only sent a body down into the third dimension to correct itself so it can join back Adam Kadmon in the fifth dimension. And he's the Lord of light who have evolved. He has evolved, as I've been telling you. You're going to change and evolve no matter how much the dark force hold you hostage here in the third dimension. You shall revolve beyond the body form of the man you are, the Genesis 2 man. You shall move past Genesis 2 man and go back to Genesis 1 man. That's what Revelation tells you. 22 chapters in Revelation. That's the Hebrew alphabet. You will conquer that alphabet and move back to the 64 code. 32 chapters in Genesis. That's the 32. Then 22 in Revelation. Your rebirth with the 10 Sephiroth. All added together give you 64. That's a shortcut to your 64 code. But you shall move past the body form as we know yourself right now. That's just you as a man. No, you're not a man. You're Adam Kadmon. You were sent here to work off the negative that you took on. And now the Father is saying, graduation time. Get rid of that negative. If you still have some, get rid of it. Because I'm going to get rid of the sun and it's going to expose you to the light. And if you're not ready for that spiritual light, it will devour you. It will push you out of the way because your body can't attune because your vessel isn't ready. That's what's bestowed upon the Adam Kadmon man. The light body is going to join with their physical body. That's what's coming to you, which becomes an extension of what? YHWH. Yod He Vahu He. Yod He Wad He. Yod He Vav He. That's what you're moving to get back. Your divine connection through the 64 code grid. Let's talk about Adam, the Genesis 2 man, who's going to move back to Genesis 1 man, because it's only Adam can become Adam Cadman. Nobody else can run in and take that spot because they did not get the code. They did not get the code. You hear what I said? They did not get the code. So I'm talking to Adam, and we're going to figure out who he is. So no more lies can be told by Lucifer and disguising Adam, running him among all the people, confusing him, and he doesn't know about himself, to make himself ready for the light that's coming. Adam to be red in his ruddy complexion. Ruddy means red. Two types of red. You can have a ruddy red and a ruddy yellow. And I've given you the meaning at the bottom here from Webster Dictionary. 1828, Adamic race. That's the first root race, my people. You are the original people that were put in bodies on this planet as a spiritual being combined perfectly with a physical being. But you had to work off negative that you took on, but it still didn't change your complexion. You were still ruddy, a ruddy red and a ruddy gold. Let's go to another book, Adam and the Pre-Adamites by Dr. Doriel. Adam, as it's referred to in the book of Genesis, was not, I repeat, he was not, I repeat, he was not the father of entire human race. He was not. But he was the father of one distinct group. The father of one distinct group of people. That's what he was. That's what he was. A distinct line of people with certain racial characteristic. With certain racial characteristic. What was that characteristic? He was also called the Semitic people. That's where Shemite comes in. That's where the Semitic Jews come in. That's us, not Ashkenaz, who have taken over your role because Lucifer lied to you and left your spot vacant. So a Gentile, a Caucasian, run in and took your spot. But we're here to take the spot back. He's the Semitic people. Let's figure out who the Semitic people were. Adam or Adama was a generic term. Not one man. It didn't mean that we talked about earlier. Not one man, but race of men which were reddish in complexion, which were reddish in color, which were reddish, a red man. And he transformed himself now to be one of the brown races in our modern time. One of the modern race descended from Adam. The brown race, no other race. There's certain other race, but they're still dark-skinned, melanated people. They're brown people, copper color skinned people was derived from the original root race. What did it say over on the left side? Adamic race, the first root race. They're connecting all the dots for you, but we're not done yet. This is what ruddy looks like. Ruddy red on the left, ruddy yellow on the right. That's a ruddy complexion. Does that look Gentile to you? Does that look Caucasian to you? No, it does not. That brings us to another book, Slavery as it relates to Negro or African race, based on the Holy Scriptures, written by priest Josiah. He's a Jewish person. He's a Jewish person, but he's speaking the truth because he knows the truth shall set him free in the kingdom of the Most High. Page 16 of that book, the first Adam, as above, signify earthly man, red. Second, he's of the earth color red. He's on this earth. Third, he's a red man again. Fourth, signify he's still red. Okay, he's still red. Down below, Adam signifying red, or the copper color races. Or the copper color races. We're not going to lie, that's what he says. Thus, this Jewish historian, he's talking about himself. He's a Jewish, but he wants to tell the truth even though he's Ashkenaz. This Jewish historian, as well as Geniuses, a whole bunch of genius of Hebrew language, furnishes us with clues. They give a whole bunch of clues, but no one wants to look at the clues. Now we're going to look at the clues because they lead up to what? What conclusion they led up to? What conclusion did they lead up to? That Adam were red, or a copper-colored people, or a copper-colored people. What does copper color look like? I have it right here for you. So you don't have to run to the left, run to the right, run to north or south, trying to figure out what copper color looks like. That's copper color. That's copper color. Look at yourself. See how close you come to that color. And it's talking about you. You are Adam. You are Adam. None other. He didn't say Gentiles. He didn't say Caucasian. He didn't say pale skin or fair skin. Copper color people. Adam race. You. Adam Cadman. You. That's what you're moving back to. No Gentiles, no Lucifer, no dark forces can stop you once you tune yourself back with the Spirit of the Most High. But we're not done yet. We're still not done yet. We're still not done yet. Through a series of rapid pulsation, every evolution has its coding system derived from the Deca-Delta, the 10 spiritual channel system. Therefore, the codes for the 64 keys, the codes for the 64 key are within the Deca-Delta message that's coming from the 9th to the 3rd and back from the 3rd to the 9th. It's as a pattern of what? What is the pattern of? A pattern of light that's hitting your body now. It's coming through the sun and they can't stop it. They're trying to vaccinate you to kill off your DNA and your RNA before the light start hitting you. But that won't help them. It will still come through and it will still get the job done. However, the Father allowed all the Elohims, they're creator gods. They're creator gods. You are a creator God. You are a God. Isn't it written in your book that ye are God, children of the Most High? He lets you directly create, and that's what he's moving you back to now, because he put you in a body. He put you in a physical vessel and said, go work off your negative. Now it's time for you to graduate. Get back that Adam Cadman body so you can directly create from the throne energy, from the energy of the Most High, from his living throne. That's where your creation come from. It's in you. It's within you, your inner body. That's where the code is. That 64 key is in your DNA, RNA. That's the ordering of the code within you. It's going to come together on its own. And that's going to be coming into the Adamic species, the Adamic race of people. That's who it's coming into. Who are occupying which planet? Which planet are they on? They're on your planet. They're on your planet. They're currently occupying your planet. It's you that I'm talking to. You are the Adamic species. You are the copper color people. The red ruddy and the red gold, the red ruddy and the gold ruddy people. You are the ones I'm talking to that's occupying this planet. Your Elohim power is coming back through the Deca-Delta system, unlocking your 64 DNA, RNA code that's within you. We're not done yet. Keys of Enoch 202:21. We covered that, but I want to go over it again to let you know, once your DNA code gets initiated by that light that's coming through, it's going to begin, it's going to start with this spontaneous replication of all your locked up DNA, RNA, all your locked up cells, all your locked up protons, all your locked up electrons, all your locked up minerals, all your locked up hydrogen, all your locked up helium. Everything is going to start to unlock itself. Even your double helix gonna unlock the triple helix that's hidden within it. Everything is going to take place when that new function being sent down in the Deca-Delta through the sun that's collapsing right now to let through more spiritual light, more of the spiritual sun. you shall begin that new program. That's within you. No one can stop that. None. Which brings me back to Alpha and Omega. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning, Genesis, and Omega, the end, Revelation, combined with the 10 decadelta. Give me the 64 key grid, the beginning and the end. That's the passage. You got to go through the 64 in order to find your way back to the Most High. Allah, Yah, Yod, Het, Va'uhet, Elohim. So in summary, the 64 light grid opens up the door to the energy that's converting your body, transducing system, meaning your conversion system, your evolving system, your change system of our Alpha and Omega, of your beginning and end. You gotta pass through the 64 in order to get to the end. That's the nature of your genetic code in a nutshell, explained by the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, Het, Vahu, Elohim, and the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, the high priest of the Most High, Allah, Jehovah. Oh, praise you always for bringing this information to our knowledge. So within your DNA, it's going to start to change and show you that you can be adjusted to accommodate higher frequency of light. And that light is coming through, seeping through the sun as coronal mass ejections and solar flares. That's how the light is reaching you. So the sun is beginning to get disrupted, to fall apart, and release the light, the true light, the spiritual light that is behind it. It's no longer buffering 100%. It's diminishing the buffer until it gets to 0, giving you time to adjust as it removes the buffer. By placing these divine codes within you, that's within you. The code is within you. 64 codes of YHW, Yod Het Vahu, Yod Het Vav, Yod Het Wad. That's within you. They're going to move it into a neutral zone. What do I mean by a neutral zone? The planet is moving, and the divine being, the divine Father, knows that he has to neutralize the sun, which is an electromagnetic system. It's an electromagnetic buffer. What is electromagnetic? Meaning it's magnetized, but it's slowed down. You have magnetism, which is pure, unfiltered, unslowed down magnets. Electromagnetic, meaning it's slowed down. You put a coil between the north and the south to slow down the time of travel and the distance of travel from north to south or south to north. Look at your light bulb. There's a coil in it. Open up your radios. There's a coil in it. That coil is to make sure that whatever signal going from north to south or south to north gets there, for example, 5 minutes instead of 1 minute. Normally, it travels on a straight line. It gets there 1 minute. On a coil, you can coil it for however long you want that travel to be. And that's what your sun is. And that's what a neutral zone is going to remove that coil in the middle. So by placing the divine codes within the neutral zone, surrounded by that high electromagnetic wave that the sun is giving you, and another one that was put up by the dark forces to encircle you more than you need to be encircled, the neutral zone, what it says, is going to neutralize all of that. So you're going through that neutral zone now. That's where the planet is moving through right now. The ring, remember that circle that's around the planet, will be broken. The ring around the planet will be broken. Ring around the planet will be broken. Encircling around the planet will be broken. And what's going to happen when it's broken? Permitting the life code that is within you to be reprogrammed genetically. to operate within the physical man, to give you your light body. That's what's happening to your planet right now. That's going to trigger not your double helix, have all your brilliant scientists told you. No, you don't have double helix. You have a triple helix. But it's restricted because that light, because that wave, a wave of bondage is holding you, so you can't get the true light through that buffer sun. And now we're removing that sun to give your triple helix that reprogramming code so you can move into that higher form. That physical body can now join with your Adam Cadman body. Which brings me to the planet shall be shaken by extraordinary amount of constant coronal mass ejection from your sun, aka solar flare. Largest CME started in September 2017. It's going to ramp up because you're in the neutral zone now, which is breaking down your sun. It's breaking it apart. It's breaking it up. So your DNA and RNA, the 64 code of YHW, Yod Het Va'u Het, can be coded into you now the right way without any restriction once you've made your vessel ready for that code. And that shall be ramping up 2022, ramping up 2023, ramping up 2024 when we hit that solar CME maximum, that solar flare maximum in 2024, 2025. That's what I'm here to tell you for this message. And I'm going to pause at this point to give you time to absorb what I'm telling you. Because the next step where I'm going with the continuation of this message, you're going to need to fasten yourself in your seatbelt so you don't get blown away by what's coming your way. Oh, children of Israel, children of Jacob, children of Judah, know that ye are God's, children of the Most High. Now you have to move back to being God, reconnecting with your Adam Cadman body. No longer the Adam dust man alone. You're going to connect with Genesis 1 verse 27. Become the eternal being that you were created in the image of the Father, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He. Elohim, who's now ready to bring you back into his mansion. My Father has many galaxies. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. If it were not true, I cannot tell you so, because spiritual beings cannot lie to you. They cannot tell you lie like those beings that are trapped in the lower fourth dimension, trying to prevent you from being ready for this. They know this is coming. You're going to graduate and leave them right here for that destruction. Because those who cannot ascend and show that they cannot ascend will be destroyed. You cannot move up if you're not ready to be moved up. So with these solar flares that are coming, they're going to shake up your earth core, the core of your earth. It's going to be shaken up. That's what we're going to cover in the next message. Stay tuned. Glory, all praise to the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He. Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord, Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah, who the Most High have put in charge of all of this. What's happening right now. He says, my Lord, for the next millennium, the 1,000 years, get the earth ready. For when I return, I can see my kingdom on earth and in earth as it is in heaven. The earth is the heaven, just that it was made into Hades once these fallen beings took charge of your son. Praise be to the Most High and the Lord always.